Hello and welcome to part 63 of the game engine coding live stream. This is part 8 of file loading and saving, which had led also into doing high scores as well. So we had the high score stuff in regular streams, so regular file loading. So the the off stream, which is the off stream, yeah, which was the F stream and which was the O stream and the I stream or the if stream, but we're porting it now over to JSON. We'll still actually be using our file manager to read and write to files. It's just the content that we are putting in gonna be JSON instead of really our own custom format. It's gonna be a custom JSON format. And I think Root suggested that yesterday, or it might have been some of the user in the comments. They said, why not use JSON? And me and her was like, probably not a bad idea, to be fair, because we got JSON built in. Okay, so I remember we did the load scores. We did that. We finished that. Or we ported that over. I still got the old code. Leave that till we actually wrap up. So the save score. Okay, so you get given a file path. Load score is, first of all, it loads the scores. That's a-okay. That is a-okay. Don't have a problem there because we've already done that. Int position. I'm going to go over this again. So this will check if the score is basically, high enough to be, what should I say, a high score. Okay, so we're going to say, so it loops through all the scores, which we have a separate, it's not the right one. We have a separate vector right here. And let me comment this while I'm here. No return all parameters. So I can't see us not having this. We'll comment these in a bit as well, and this method here as well. So struct of scores? Nah, there ain't a struct of scores there. What am I doing? Vector of scores and user details. At the moment it's just name, date and time, that using an epoch value that it was actually recorded, and the actual score itself. And this is a vector of scores only. Okay, so check score. So you go through all the scores. If the score that's being passed in is greater than this particular one, then we return I, otherwise return -1. Okay, so that's all good, because at the end of the day, if we go new 95, if it checks it's 100, if it's check if it's greater than 100, that's false. If it checks greater than 90, it's by definition, because they're already going to be sorted, greater than the other. So we don't need to do extra checks. That's the reason we're doing it that way around instead of this way around. Because I remember when I was at uni and I first did some sort of high score, I wasn't even I ain't gonna call it a manager, but a high score system. I did it this way around, but that wasn't very efficient, because by definition, if it's higher than this one, it is higher than this row. If it's higher than this one, it's higher than this one. Or if it's higher than the top one, it's higher than all of them, which means there's less checks. And especially if, let's say, there's 1,000 scores, so you're doing 1,000 checks, you could potentially only do 1 check. Why does it look like this? What have I done? Nah, I don't want. I want Solution Explorer. There we go. That's what we want. Visual Assist. Nah, we don't want that. Just this feels so long ago now. Okay, so so we returned this. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to comment. So this live stream is a lot earlier today than the usual 4 or target of 4. And we're gonna say, spd log colon info. Okay, so if we do that, go to splash state, and we also say hi dot save score, and let's say if we do a score of 95, and if we go to our scores, no, I don't want the .txt, I want the JSON file open here. That's a bit, oh yeah, it's meant to be on one line, obviously just formats it after. Okay, so it should return a position of 1. So if we run that, it should, or print out 1. High score, naturally that. We need a few other things, don't we? So we need to pass in the file path, the score, and the name. So file path first. And we'll copy this. And then the name, I'm going to call this Bob. Yeah, that's fine. There off. Another run will fix that error. See if we get any drop frames. I mean, drop frames are minimal. I am downloading something, that's really I wanted to check, but they're so minimal. 0.2%, we can live with that. So it gives a value of 1, which is where it should be. If I passed in, let's say, 100, it should still give you a value of 1. So you shouldn't be able to surpass somebody who's got the same score. You would have to go below him, because so as far as I'm concerned, they got it first. So they are still greater than you in a way. And I think that's how most high school systems work, to be fair. That's nothing new that we're inventing here. 0. Let me see if I put, let's say 45. That should return 4. Because this is the last score that it's yes. And if I do 39, that should print out -1, because that is not a valid high score. Okay, -1, that's good stuff. And okay, so that's good now. So now let's have a look at this. So returns that. Now what we do is do the update scores. So update scores, this is where it's going to get interesting. So we update the scores. So we have a hi, hey there, United Tumor says. Hello, how are you doing? Let's go back up in the new score list. New score list. We start at 0 and we go to less than the position. Okay, that is fine. So in the case that it being 1, it would get 100, and we push that there. New score info. So that gets the current epoch time, that gets the name and the score, and that pushes that back. I'm happy with this so far. Then it starts at the position less than the score size -2. -2 would be there. -1. It was a productive day. I was able to display the targets on the map when receiving data from the radar. That's good stuff. Good stuff indeed. If we start there, then we grab that one, we push it there, and then we grab that one, that one, that one. Then we don't need the bottom one technically. And underscore score list equals new score list. The only thing I can think is if this is not getting overridden. Underscore scores. Let me see what the assignment operator does. C++ vector assignment operator. I mean, it's possible that. Underscore scores list dot. So that will clear it. So that just updates the scores. I'm happy with that. And then before we get the file list, we need to actually do, we need to do the formatting of it. So we need to do a formatting. And we're only writing one file. So the way we're going to do that is we need to push back. Now, how do we do it? How? You can use a reserve for vector if you know the size. I may or may not know the size. It's potentially we might know if we do a hash define. We will look into that in a second. That's my train of thought. What was we gonna do? Yes, I wanted to make sure I got a backup of this. There we go. And so we got a back of this. Let's launch. Oh, we haven't got it open anymore. Git. That one. How do we create a JSON? JSON. So that's basically what I want to do. So one, okay. So if we do, I don't know, score 1. I'm just doing the format at the moment. Just doing the format. And this will be okay, so let's copy and paste this. Copy and paste that. Let's say JSON, I don't know, JJ score I'm gonna give this a build, see if there's any error, because I know that's gonna be a spelling mistake thing, but that's not an issue. Expected a semicolon, yeah, so you expect it there. Apart from that, is there any other errors in the splash state? If it's something to do with the high score mandate potentially I haven't fixed it yet. Can Kite work with Visual Studio? I'm not too sure. You'll have to have a look on the website, to be fair. If I grab that format wasn't too bad, to be fair. Better than easier than I was expecting it to be. So we've done the update scores. we don't have an updated list of actual scores, do we? Probably could do with updating that as well. std colon vector long score list backup. Don't think we actually need that, do we? I think we only need that one. New score list. New scores. New scores dot pushback, and this is going to be underscore scores dot at I. That's a-okay, good stuff. And I'm going to say new scores dot pushback score like so. And I'm going to say new scores dot pushback score underscore score list underscore scores dot at okay, and we'll grab this and we'll say scores new scores. Let me see that. Okay, so Corsa, we don't need this anymore, I believe. Not sure, never tried before. Hey, cool glow stick, how's it going? Saw you earlier on the Ghost of Tsushima live stream. Really enjoying that game. I only played it a little bit, like 50 minutes. But I can't wait to play a bit more tomorrow. File list. I don't think what am I gonna need? I'm gonna need to create something along these lines. Score list. But we're gonna need to do a loop. Some kind of loop. Okay, so a bunch of things that we need to change in here. I mean, it's probably best if I just do this as a int I equals 0, I less than underscore scores list I plus plus. Ooh, if we do, how do we convert a? How do we convert again? Is there's a simple method like std colon to string. I'm positive there's a simple to string. Okay, yes. I remember we used it literally just a couple of streams ago. I plus 1. Don't like that. Okay, it likes that. That's all good stuff now. And was it index 0 or index 1? Index 1 in here. Okay, so it equals this, and for this we'll just say underscore scores list dot at I dot name, and we'll literally copy and paste this, change that to underscore date time underscore score. Don't think we need that anymore. Don't believe we need this anymore. And for the file manager, file path, and I think we can literally just provide a string for it. And I believe I've got, because we have to convert it, do we not? How do we do it? Write to file dot dump. We have to dump it. Dot dump. So it is score list, scores score list JSON dot dump. Okay, so it is an add to new line, it's add to current line, and I can't remember. I think it was a true. Was it true that we need? What does each one refer to again? The first one is create if doesn't exist, true. Overwrite if exists, true. That's fine. I mean, maybe we're ready to go now. I mean, it's possible. Let's give it a try. So if we say 95, so if we give it a score, save score of 95, let's actually just see what we get. No errors, no crashes, so it's a good sign. And let's have a look at this. Index of 10 is not right. Yeah, it's still having a weird issue. Copy. I'll check that in a second. I think it's my cousin probably. He's asking me something. JSON beautifier. Do I actually have a JSON beautifier in here? Don't know. So it's detecting as JSON, that's good. Or some sort of beautifier. Do I have a beautifier? Sublime beautify JSON. Nah, if I get a generic beautifier, it might. Let's do it for JSON. It's something that's useful to have. How do you activate that command again? I can't remember. On Sublime to get that thing of that sort of search. I always forget, and it pops up when I don't want it, and then it's annoying. Abu Bakr Diallo says hello there. Hello there. let's do it online. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we got Farhan. Bob was meant to go there. Then I had Darth Vader got in there. So 90. Did we not have an 80? Okay, so let me also validate JSON, beautify. Let's try a different one, see what this one's like. It's all worth trying, I guess. Yeah, this one's a lot nicer. So no, we never had an 80. Okay, so that's fine. It's not actually an issue because we never had an 80. So that should not be there. So we should get 1. We should get 2, 3, 4, 5. These should be eliminated. I don't know why they're still there. Nah. Let's have a look at it again. Let's grab this. OG right. Okay, so if I go over to here, okay, so see, I think it's going to be to do with this. There's an easy way to find out. Is to literally print off. So for auto score where's ampersand? There it is. For score in underscore scores list, and now we're going to print it out. We're going to say str. What was the format that her showed me? I think it was it something like he posted it. Yeah, he posted it yesterday, which is annoying, man. Can I actually access that if I go into YouTube? I want yesterday's stream. Here we go. Your JSON field. Okay. 0, this is 1, 2, and score dot name, score dot date time, score dot, well, the score itself. Okay, so what we're going to do is basically do something similar for this as well. I'm going to say, instead of scores list, I'm going to say new score list, and we're also going to print up std colon. I also want to see out here. Any other BS output? No output there, no output over here. And now, so that's going to update scores. I'm not going to write to the file because I don't want to have to constantly keep, you know, copying and pasting if I can avoid it. So if I give this a run, hopefully there should be no other printouts here apart from what's in there. So if we look in splash state, any other cout or spd log info that we have not commented out, but it looks really looks all good. Let's have a look. We got an error though. Where's the error? It might be one of those errors that just disappears after I. Yeah, it's one of those ones. Okay, so see what we get. And we can ignore that one. I don't know where that's from. Prawn, Bob, Batman, Yoda, Darth Vader, Sodom yet. Farhan, Batman, Yoda, Darth Vader. So it should be Farhan, Bob, Batman, Yoda, Darth Vader. So it's gone to Sodom yet, and then it's done the others again. You know, the reason I printed out both, I printed out the new score list and the overridden score list, so I thought maybe it's to do with this sort of assignment thing we got going on. That, see, I don't think it is that. This seems to have proven that it's not that. So what I'm gonna do is do this. Put it here now. So at this point, we should only have all old scores and the new score. If that's the case, then there's something wrong with this loop. So we should only get 2 in there. I think it's Farhan and Bob. Don't know what's happening there. Is it like giving me an error? Still don't know what's happening here. Unless this is just messed up. Don't think it doesn't look like it. Looks a-okay to me. I'm just gonna give this a clean, and let's give this a build. It's gonna take a few minutes, or like a minute or two to do that. Okay, so let's have a look if this worked. Okay, that's fine. Now let's give this a, and let's put this over here and give it a run. Don't know what happened there. Probably some, coding bug as it always is. That's right. So we get any scores that were higher and the new score, but we don't get any of the rest of the scores. So we have pretty much narrowed it down to the fact that something in this method, something in this loop is going wrong. Int I equals position. Let's print our position. Let's just once and for all make sure that the position in this method that we are getting is correct. Okay, so we're gonna say 0. Give us a run. Position 1, that's correct as well. So if I equals 1, I is less than underscore scores dot size. Let's do scores list. See if that makes a difference. And if it does, then something wrong with scores that we need to resolve. Nope, does not fix the issue. Okay, so that's why we can leave it as this, to be fair. Okay, so now we're going to print this out. I want to see what we actually gain for the scores. So list our size. I'm going to say exactly a vector. Vector size. Use the run. It should give us 5. It's giving us 10. It is giving us 10. So if I copy this, I put this right at the top, and I grab hold of this and I'll put this around it. If my assumption based on what we've just discovered is correct, then it's nothing to do with this method, update scores. I think it's to do with the loading. It's got the data in there twice for some reason. Okay, so we don't need this. And when we load the scores, here we go. We're doing score info, pushing that back. I'm not doing that twice, are we? Scores list of pushback. Now let's do another check. Let's literally grab hold of, well, actually what I want to do, I'll cut that and I'll paste that over here. No. So at that point it's fine. So literally at that point it is a-okay. I think I figured it out. Clear. Underscore scores dot clear. We're not clearing it, so all we're doing is constantly adding to it. Now I bet you if we run it, you'll get, I think you'll be right. There we go. Now that's right. Now if I uncomment this line out, I bet you for the most part I probably can remove these CFs. I will remove them in a second though. I need to, so JSON number 2 is Batman currently. Are we ready for this? Are we ready, kids? So we got 1, 2 Bob, 3 is Batman, 4 is Yoda, and 5 is Darth Vader. That's looking all good. I'm gonna have a one quick check after beautifying it in this. So realistically, actually no, I'll do it on a different page. So code beautify that one there. I didn't want to do that, bro. So now I want to see what happens if we put in a score that's higher than everyone. So let's say if I put in 101. If I put in 101 now, this is basically just checking if everything's all good. Put 101 now in the splash state. JFK got the high score, and then we'll try it for the lowest. We'll try for not getting a score that's valid, and then we'll try for the lowest score as well. So JFK, so that should be it. Okay, so we get JFK. We should get Farhan, then Bob, then Batman, and then what is it, Yoda. Okay, so that's looking all good. Now let's test it for, so the lowest score is 70. Let's test it for, first of all, let's test it for like 65. And we're gonna call this one call it London. Okay, so let's grab this. So we get JFK, we get Farhan, we get Bob, we get Batman, we get Yoda, and we do not have, yes, we get -1. Now it was 70, so if I do 71, this should just knock the lowest one out, if the algorithm is correct. According to this, it has knocked it out. So we should have now 1 JFK, 2 Farhan, 3 is Bob, 4 is Batman, 5 is London with 71. Boom, done. And we can, I think we can start removing all this extra stuff that we got in here now. We can remove that. Remove that. Now the question is, can we run it like this? Will this still work? Okay, I want to make sure it's still working. Okay, so if I put in a score of, I don't know, what is the high score currently? 101. So if I put in a score of 99, score 99, the bad batch. That's what I should call it, the bad batch. It is what it is. I know where we need to remove that C out as well. It's good we tested it because there's a C out to the I mean SPD log info. We get JFK, we get Farhan, then we get London, and then we get boom, 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 done. So that works great. That's good stuff. And high score manager now. So if I was to say, there was the SPD log. I want to comment this stuff now. So it is, and we have 3 variables. save, check and save the score if high enough. I'm going to say file path, score, name, file path of the scores file, and we'll say score to check if high enough. Are you a badass or not? Okay, so name. Oh, cool. Already got it changed. Name is name of the player. And we've got two more methods to comment. This has a return type and it has parameters, return type and parameters. And this is checks if the score is greater than any of the greater than any scores in the list. I'm using list as just a more generic term and not a coding term. And scores to check the new score against, so that way you can do this outside the class if you're doing something else, or maybe you're getting scores passed in from something else as well. Score to check if a new score returns the position the new score will be, returns -1 if not a high score. Boo-hoo. Okay, so what we're doing now, parameters, no return type, and this is going to be update the scores vectors, scores, it's going to be position, score, position of the new high score. Almost done. And this is going to be score to update, score to add, name of the player who have achieved greatness. Boom, that's done. So if we go over to here, write score to file, backup or update, create a fresh file with scores in it. We need a method for that, set maximum number of high scores. And we need that as well. Already done that one. Create a fresh file with scores in it, set a maximum number of scores, adapt the current load and saving to accommodate this regardless of how many scores there are in the vector in the file. By the time they hit the vector, they shouldn't be anymore. I'll leave them open and I will close them. So we're getting close. I'm gonna wrap up for today. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up now. I'm gonna give it a quick build. Almost done with the high score. I'm confident we'll get the high scores done tomorrow in part 9. So 64, 9 will be done, and then on Wednesday, yes. So on Friday we'll get done. We'll start the maps thing. Let me just commit this. So high scores ported to JSON and working. So couple of minute Q&A while this just ports over. Commits. Okay, let's. I don't want to, accidentally remove anything. So let me just copy that and I'll whack it in downloads. That's fine. Jesus, so big that is. Yes, some nice speed now. Probably hitting some big ass files for you to get that level of speed. Nice going down to the really tiny files. That's that though. I wanted to. So your in progress work will be stashed on this branch for you to return to later. I've already got a backup of it, so that's not really much of an issue. I'll mess this up, haven't I? That's the old code that we had. Code, platform windows. Where is that? In platform windows. So that's going to be hidden, I bet you. We should actually be able to remove this. And if I remove this, that's a VC thing which I don't care. Okay, so let me have a look at this. And if okay, so if I go to here, okay, Herding and say hello. Will laugh my ass off. Jesus, so big that is. It is only so big because you copied the whole .vs folder too. Hello everybody. What game engine is Sonos Systems using now? He's coding on top of SML framework. Nice. I hope it's successful. Hope so too. You can't remove it because VS is still open and you have to lock on that folder. Yeah, so this is radical. Actually, you should clean up your messy master branch with all those .vs stuff. I do need to do that. Keep on my case, sir, and force me to do it. And this seems to be seems to have the update. Did you see my message that I sent you on Discord? Oh, I forgot to actually send you a message. So the problem was it was literally this line. You would have worked with the old system, but it's better with the new JSON system anyway. But it was, let's say if we make sure we got the new system, yes. It was this. We weren't clearing the scores, so we was loading them in the splash state. Then we were saving it, which loads them again, and that wasn't actually clearing out the old scores. So, well, it's all fixed now, so it's all good. Yep, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up now. Like I said, I'm gonna wrap up now, and I will see everyone tomorrow with 2 live streams. Gameplay at 11 AM. That will be of Ghost of Tsushima Part 2, and at 4 PM later on, you know, this sort of time, will be the Game Engine live stream, which I'm really looking forward to. And that's part 64, 9, and that's it. Now so we got one more comment. Let me have a look at that before I go. I'm watching Coco's 2D tutorial on a system how to create a basic game on this engine. Go for it. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the Discord channel. And I forgot again to pin this. I just want to pin this at the start of everything. Forgot to do it. I'll do it now, but it's not as much use now. But there you go. You can post on there. Why would you clear the scores and load them again before saving? Why not keep them in memory all the time? It is just a few bytes of data. No. Because when we save the file, we're reloading it just in case there's been some other edit to the file. So it's the reason we're not removing it for the sake of removing it. We was reloading the file, and that was adding on to the current save, if you know what I mean. So that was the issue, but that's all solved now. That's all fixed. I will see everyone tomorrow. Like today's live stream was earlier than usual. I've got a few things to do now, so hence I did it earlier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see everyone.